In the Donald Trump shooting investigation, we have some shocking new information that came out today that will blow your mind. And we're going to show you the police sniper view from the second floor room where they were stationed in that building, overlooking the Trump rally.
You believe Mr. Crooks fired 8 shots and that 8 shell casings were recovered? Did I hear that?
So there are 2 guys in that building. They leave to go look for the guy. They did not have oversight on that rooftop because they were out looking for the guy.
And of course, we have a couple of major bombshells that were dropped today. So Kimberly Cheadle, the embattled director of the Secret Service, resigned this morning. And of course, that came sort of as a shock to me because yesterday she seemed so defiant. I didn't expect her to resign today, for sure. Don't expect that this is really going to solve much because, look, at the end of the day, whatever happened at the site of the Donald Trump shooting is really on the heads, I think, of the site command, the Secret Service people that did all of the advanced work and all that and set up all of the security. Something was missing there. It was a colossal failure. And also, several other bombshells were dropped today at the Homeland Security hearings. I was monitoring it live while I was at the gym this afternoon. So the commission was questioning under oath the commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Patrol, Christopher Harris. And this is what he had to say. Because you remember, one of my theories in last night's video was that maybe the guys were not at the window during the shooting.
Then you mentioned that the 2 ESU guys that were in the second story, so there are 2 guys in that building. They leave to go look for the guy, the suspicious person.
My understanding is, yes, according to interviews.
So they were not manning, they did not have oversight on that rooftop because they were out looking for the guy.
Correct. My understanding is it was the grounds around there. To see it photographed now or on your tour yesterday without scores of people traversing from different parking areas to make ingress into the secure perimeter, that there was a concerted effort to try and identify and make contact with him.
Sure.
In conjunction with other, I was briefed that there were 2 other suspicious individuals that simultaneous to this, not terribly too far away distance-wise. I don't have the specifics, but
that leaves that building with 2 sets of eyes that could have observed it, granted, by exposing themselves. Did they was Secret Service notified that they were leaving to go look for this guy, and thus those eyes on top of the building not?
I do not know, and the other thing that I do not know is where else Butler ESU sent that information. I have not been briefed on that.
Who told them to go look? Do you know if they were told to go look?
I do not know, sir.
We just know that they did go look.
Yes, sir. And I said a very concerted effort with all of those alcoves and all of those buildings
Sure.
was made. There were 2 additional officers who, I don't know the specifics of the timeline. I don't know the specifics of the logistics of how that information was relayed, but I'm briefed that they came and they made a very concerted effort to try and locate Crooks.
But it seems to me that was leaving that extra set of eyes on top of the building. I find it interesting that they leave, this guy is so suspicious, has a rangefinder, they leave their post that they are manning to go look for him, yet Secret Service, and they get told about it 20 to 25 minutes beforehand, but Secret Service still lets the president go on the stage. I'm just totally blown away by that.
Holy cow, this is such a major bombshell. But as I pointed out last night, that's the only scenario I could figure out how they could have missed seeing him on the roof, because when we look at the video I'm about to show you, they were up on the roof yesterday and you could see plainly out that window that it looks like that they would have noticed him had they been up there.
All right, guys, I'm up here on the building where the supposed sniper took his shot. It's not that steep at all. Just had a 70-year-old man back here climb up on the roof easily. See that water tower behind me? Had Secret Service or anybody had sniper teams up there, this guy wouldn't have made it 5 feet up this roof. He would have been taken out. Behind me, you see the windows that Secret Service was supposedly in the second floor of this building behind. Makes you wonder why they weren't able to quickly dispatch the individual. And then behind me, back over here where those red roofs are, that's where the stage was set up. That's where the president was giving his speech from. A lot of questions here in Butler. But we look forward to doing oversight and getting to the bottom of it and making sure it never happens.
So it almost looks like site safety was done here by Fire Marshal Bill.
Think I'll give this little tug of Lucky Lou check for safety violation.
And if you are still fuzzy about this whole good-bad issue, take a look at this video that Representative Carlos Jimenez just filmed himself on that very roof. He is that 70-year-old man.
I'm standing at approximately the site where the shooter was. As you can see, I'm a 70-year-old man, and this roof is not a big deal. So for somebody to tell me that Secret Service agents couldn't been here, that's crazy. So you can see that you've got a clear line to the president.
This guy is a 70-year-old man.
It's not a hard shot.
He got up here, so we know problem.
Now, this directly flies in the face of what was said last week by Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle. Watch this.
Butler has a sloped roof at its highest point, and so there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof, and so the decision was made to secure the building from inside.
So this is where Representative Eli Crane came through for us here on this, but just like every other piece of video we find here on the Trump shooting, nobody ever seems to get it right. They should send me up there to get all the filming that everybody needs of the site, because nobody seems to get it right. But at least he gave us a start. He showed us the view looking out the windows that the Secret Service or whoever was in there, it's probably local police, but whatever those snipers were that were in there, this is the view they had. So this is the view from the second floor window of one of the rooms there on that building. And of course he swings way over to the left where the shooter was and doesn't even go all the way over, comes back in, and you can just see they're in a small little conference room there. So Representative Eli, thanks for getting us the video, but unfortunately you left us wanting more. You didn't look out the window and look all the way down to the other end of the building. So now we can't see exactly the spot where the gunman might have been. And it would have been nice if they had like a little cone or something out there on the roof to indicate, to mark that spot. And then also, Eli had, for whatever reason, I don't know if he thought about it, but he should have shot down from that window as well to look down on the ground, because I get so many questions from people asking about that picture that the snipers took of the shooter somewhere around 5:15 or so, where they saw him on the ground and he was looking at his phone and looking at the rangefinder and all of that. There was a couple of pictures they took. Now, many people get confused in the comments. Everybody seems to think that these photos of him were taken on the roof. They were not. He was not photographed on the roof by the snipers. This was on the ground. Don't get confused that it was taken downstairs from this window where there's a concrete wall there. I believe that is where it was. So it would have been nice to have seen that spot there as well. But you can notice that number 12 on the door there is the same number 12 that you see on the door in the People's video when they were trying to flag down the police.
Because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people, criminals.
To point out that Crooks was crawling up the roof there. I believe that Eli, the representative, I believe he shot that video out this window because it's very close to right here where that door number 12 was. And so it appears that wherever these windows are, each one of these is probably its own conference room. And you could see the people had been going out the door. If you slow it down and look, they were going out of that conference room. And you could see there was possibly other ones. So that was probably a conference room. And I'm willing to bet that these two here are another conference room. And perhaps this one here might be another one. That's, just sort of an educated guess. So it appears that they had only 2 snipers up here checking all of these windows, and that both snipers were gone. They had left their post. And this is a strategic bad move, folks, because to leave that nest unprotected. Now, I sort of understand the one cop's ideal of doing this because, okay, I'm the one that shot the picture of the guy. I looked down the window. I saw him. I know what he looks like. I better get down there and start looking for him. Who knew that the guy was actually probably at that minute trying to crawl up on the roof at that very moment. But anyway, that's probably what happened. It still doesn't excuse them. And if I was in the Secret Service and they called the command post and asked for permission, I would say, no, do not leave that post unattended. Make sure somebody is up there that can still put eyes on that roof. Okay. Now, this should satisfy some of the conspiracy theorists, which a ton of them have been barraging my comments saying, we're not going to be happy until they tell us about the casings. Where are the casings? I want to know how many casings they found. Well, they're going to announce it right here for us. And I know some of you aren't going to be happy because it does not jive with the rhetoric of multiple shooters at this point.
Colonel Paris, did you say, I think I heard you say in the course of the hearing that you believe Mr. Crooks fired 8 shots and that 8 shell casings were recovered. Did I hear that?
Yes.
Okay. Were they all recovered in the vicinity of his body?
I'm told that they were.
Well, I have a lot more juicy analysis that I want to do for you. But that will have to be in tomorrow's video because I wanted to get this one out to you in a timely manner. And in the meantime, after you watch this video, make sure you look at these 2 videos over here. These are the first 2 in the series of deep analysis here on the Trump shooting. You don't want to miss those. So thanks a lot for joining in, and we'll see you on the next one.